Millions of Americans are about to hit the student loan cliff, and Joe Biden potentially has some help. But before I get there and also show you the conservative reaction to the potential help from Joe Biden and their freak out about it, let me show you how bad the situation actually is. So they say here from CNBC, an estimated 46 million Americans have student loans, making it the second biggest form of household debt in the country, only behind mortgage debt. These totals worry many economists who say that student loan debt disproportionately impacts women, contributes to the racial wealth gap, puts younger generations at a disadvantage, and holds the economy back. Obviously, all of this is true, and the reason it holds the economy back is because it prevents people from actually putting their money back into the economy, as it is tied up in the debt. Now, this gets to the loan cliff. So Trump's student loan cliff, headline here from Politico, threatens chaos for Biden. Biden could inherit the confusion of monthly payments restarting for tens of millions of Americans amid a pandemic. So, in case it wasn't already clear, student loan payments have been put on a pause during the pandemic and was supposed to be extended past December 31st. But now that Trump lost the election, he has no real incentive to actually do anything, as he never really cared about people. It was all about him and his image. So it seems unlikely right now that he will continue that pause on student loan payments. But there's something interesting going on. In an unusual alliance, loan industry officials are advocating alongside congressional Democrats, higher education groups, and consumer organizations, all warning that suddenly turning back on the federal government's massive student loan apparatus, mostly frozen since March, in the midst of a presidential transition could lead to anguish for everybody involved. So all the groups here coming together, including the student loan or loan industry officials, all coming together to say that there has to be something done about these student loan payments, as you can't just turn the faucet on January 1st and expect people to be able to pay up, not while this pandemic is still raging on. So research also backs up how people feel about this from Pew Research here, saying 81% agree that the government should make it easier for borrowers to repay student loans. That's a majority from both parties. So a sizable 90% of Democrats and 68% of Republicans said they see a role for the government in addressing problems in the student loan repayment system. So what might that be? Well, take a look at this. Chuck Schumer saying Joe Biden can cancel first $50,000 in student loan debt via executive order and will do so in first 100 days. This will change so many lives. So Joe Biden has not discussed this publicly, but this is right now being pushed by Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren. Let's hope he actually explores this. And based on the fact that everyone's coming together here, including the loan industry officials, are all coming together for some real action on student loans, I wouldn't be shocked if Joe Biden actually took this step, which would be a very positive step in helping millions and millions, over 30 million or over 40 million Americans. And as Warren Gunnels, close advisor to Bernie Sanders, tweets out here, canceling all student debt could up jobs by 4.4 million for the first 5 years, up home ownership by 300,000 a year, up GDP by up to 108 billion a year, and lower the racial wealth gap from 12 to 1 to 5 to 1. So, of course, many benefits of canceling student debt. But now we get to, I just gotta touch a little bit on the conservative arguments against this. Ben Shapiro quote tweeting the idea that Biden may cancel $50,000 student debt, saying those who paid their bills should be outraged. Those who never went to college now subsidizing the degrees of those who went to Wesleyan to major in social justice should be outraged. This is a subsidy to the aristocracy. It's the reverse of progressivism. This is completely unhinged. People that are wealthy are not having trouble paying off their student loans. They likely never had any student loans to begin with. Their school paid for. Those trust fund babies, perfectly fine. Canceling this student debt, 50 grand in student debt, would only benefit the lower and middle income people that have that debt. The wealthy are not worrying about paying off student loans. And the other argument he's using here is essentially saying, I suffered, so everyone else should also suffer, which is an absurd idea. that we should never improve society because those that had to suffer through life without those improvements never got to benefit from the improvements. That's insane. That's an argument against Social Security. It's an argument against Medicare. It's an argument against essentially every single piece of legislation that has been passed that has actually helped people. Like this, look at how twisted the argument is here. And this is continued by Damon Linker here, tweeting out, I think Dems are widely underestimating the intensity of anger college loan cancellation is going to provoke. Those with college debt will be thrilled, of course, but lots and lots of people who didn't go to college or who worked to pay off their debts, gonna be bad. Again, this stupid argument that you can't improve society because some people are gonna be freaked out that they don't get to benefit from that. Just completely absurd. So some reactions to those insane conservative comments. Here's Owen Higgins tweeting out, I think Eisenhower is widely underestimating the intensity of anger this interstate highway system is going to provoke. Those with cars will be thrilled, of course, but lots and lots of people who didn't have vehicles or who use public transportation, gonna be bad. Vabade says, I think Dems are wildly underestimating the intensity of anger leaving Vietnam is going to provoke. Those who won't die in Vietnam will be thrilled, of course, but lots and lots of people who did die in Vietnam, gonna be bad. Poking massive holes in the conservative argument that you cannot improve society because some people will be angry. Who cares? Some people, yes, they will be angry. As we've seen from some of those other tweets, they'll be angry that people got their student loans paid off. Who cares? It's going to improve the economy. It's going to improve society. And it's also one of many steps that will be taken. So canceling student debt would be an awesome step in the right direction, or at least canceling a bit of it would be a great step in the right direction. But also raising wages, a wealth tax, Medicare for all, these are also all things that can benefit society. So maybe if you didn't benefit from getting your student loans canceled, maybe you'll benefit from Medicare for all. So this is why there has to be a continued push on all of these issues. Canceling student debt is just a tiny piece of the puzzle here. But the idea that you should not do it because some people will be angry, guess what? That's politics. Things are done. Life is improved, and not everybody benefits every single time. But if we continue moving towards the ultimate goal of improving society, then at some point, you're also going to benefit.